Now, let's take you to West Africa, Mali to be more precise, where the transitional president, Bah Ndaw, has resigned. Well, he and the prime minister are in detention after being arrested by the military earlier this week. Now, the resignation by the leader of an 18-month civilian transitional government risks plunging the troubled nation into further instability and comes as representatives of the West African regional bloc are in Mali to mediate political crisis there.
All right, so now the UN, the African Union, and other international bodies, as well as the US, had urged Mali's military to release the transitional leaders. Our correspondent, Abdinoor, now joins us for more details on the development. Good morning, Abdinoor.
Good morning, Olu and Oli, once again.
All right, good morning. Now, Abdinoor, you have been tracking the happenings in Mali. What is the mood now after the president turned in his resignation?
Well, this coup within a coup has really shedded light into the situation in Mali, we just started facing the transition period and nearing the 18 months period before the elections. The people are very worried currently because of this situation, and the US and many other bodies have threatened sanctions against the leaders who are involved in the new coup.
All right, Abdi. Now, what do you think, prompted this resignation, move from the president Bah Ndaw? You just turned with the coup, but something has to give here.
Well, this new situation, the resignation is something that was technically the moment they were, the moment the coup happened, the prime minister and the president had technically resigned, because the military had done a similar thing to President Ibrahim in the previous July last year's coup. Therefore, this is not a new situation, the resignation of the leadership, because the military have said that because they were not consulted in the government reshuffle, therefore they do not recognize the leadership, and therefore they lose the legitimacy.
All right. Now, we know that, the UN, the African Union, and other international bodies, as well as the US, has urged Mali's military to release the transitional leaders. And, after this, we heard of the resignation of the president at this point in time. Do you see this affecting the relations between Mali and the international bodies?
It has indeed affected the relations, because these were the results of the mediation efforts that were initiated by ECOWAS, the AU, and many other global bodies last year. Therefore, seeing the military failing to honor the same agreement for the mediation which they made, including the giving power to a civilian authority, is something that has been of great concern. And the coup leader, Colonel Assimi Goïta, is still adamant that they will eventually return the rule to civilian authority. But this is unacceptable to the leadership in the continent and the bodies across the globe.
All right, Abdi, you just mentioned that the military leader himself, well, he's been now termed the coup leader. But do you see him keeping his words, about the elections that he said will happen? And will it really happen? Will we see that transition in Mali?
There are hopes and optimism going by the comments from Malians themselves on the social media sites and some of the comments of experts on other media outlets. They believe that were it not for the missteps and the miscalculations by President Bah Ndaw, who himself was a former soldier, and the Prime Minister Mokhtar, they believe they would have gone on to elections peacefully. Therefore, this battle around power, especially the reshuffling of the government, where Goïta himself, the coup leader, saying that he expected to be named the vice president, is something that there are some optimism, but it's a question of how soon and when.